Good afternoon, YouTubers. This is the ShallowCross Sports Network with the AA, bringing you another show. This is going to be a Tennessee Vols show. We're going to talk a little bit about the Tennessee Vols recruiting. We're going to talk about the big game coming up with Mississippi State this weekend. But with that said, let's get right on into it. Well, Tennessee's big game coming up this weekend with Mississippi State. I'm going to talk about what they need to do to win. I want to talk about what they need to do offensively and defensively and in special teams to be able to win this game. And then hopefully they'll have enough fan support to where the cowbells won't be ringing in all the players' ears. But with that said, it's going to be a tough game for Tennessee. I watched the Mississippi State game against Arizona State, and that game went down to the wire. Tennessee's going to have to score with them. You're going to have to be able to answer every score that Mississippi State brings. Our defensive side of the ball, we got to stop the run. But on the defensive side of the ball, as far as our secondary, we can't be giving up a bunch of chunk plays. So that means Richmond and Hood and McMurray and the secondary, those safeties, they're going to be challenged harder than they was challenged against Syracuse. They got to play. And who was it? Farouk and Tarantine. Who was it? Farouk, and what's the other guy's name? The kid transferred. He's from Nashville, but he played for Ohio State for 1 year and transferred back to Tennessee. Played for Innsworth there in Nashville. But anyway, they're gonna have to play some ball, and we got to stop the run. They have two real good running backs. Fluff Boutwell, the big 230-pound running back, he'll just hit a linebacker and take him on down the field. He's that strong. And then the other guy, he's just as good as he was last year when we played him. And so, but one thing, stop the run. Don't give up chunk passes. It's a receiver they have out there. I don't know if his name is Evans or what. He can beat you deep. He's as fast as Zachariah Branch for Georgia. He's a 4.2 guy all the way. He's probably 4.25, 4.26. He can fly. And he can beat you on a post pattern, on a flag pattern, or one of those stop and goes. He can kill you. And then if you let him come across the middle deep, he's going to be open. He can outrun you. And so whoever is given that task, I'd start Hood on him. They're going to try to get a match with him on Richmond, Ty Richmond. And so we got to be looking for that. And then on the defensive side of the ball also, our edge rushers, Joseph, Ross, Henry, and Weathersby, they got to get home. And then Dominic Bailey and West and those guys, they got to plug that middle. It's good we're going to have Jaxon Moi back, so we'll be able to stop the run a little. But we got to be able to stop the run. Our defensive line's got to get home and get Shapen off his horse. He's a pretty good runner also. So that means Carter, T. Lander, those guys are going to have to do some check downs. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Banks and Martinez don't play a lot of dime. If it looks like we're stopping the run pretty good, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't play some dime, because you're going up against the offense you see in practice every day. Jeff Levy is a disciple basically of Josh Heupel. And so he's going to do the two receiver stacks, left and right. He's going to do a lot of that throwing to the spot. You know, receiver comes down, turns, and they throw to a spot, timing patterns. He's going to do that stack receiver, 3 of them on each side, and try to throw those little slip screens and that kind of thing. Same stuff that Tennessee runs. And so the safeties, they can't get tricked. When you see that when you see that stacked receiver set, you got to be able to do that switch off and do it perfect. And then that safety is back there playing over the top. He got to know when one's going deep and one's cutting it short. The guy that switches and goes deep, that's going to be that little guy, Evans. He can fly. And they're going to try to beat us deep with the deep ball. This is going to probably be one of the biggest tests for Tennessee with the deep ball that they're going to see this year. And of course, they looked at the film on Georgia. They know Redmond gave up 2 touchdowns. You know, he was in good position for both of them, but they're gonna go after Redmond. And we can't afford to lose this ball game. Tennessee cannot afford to lose this ball game. And it's going to be tough. Offensively, Tennessee has got to continue to do what they're doing. Block well, pass block well, and run the ball well. I think Mississippi State gave up 251 yards to Arizona State. So that means we're going to be able, and Arizona State doesn't have a team that Tennessee has, especially the offensive line. Tennessee's going to be able to do some things on that offensive side of the ball, defensive line. They have one good defensive lineman. All the players are pretty good, but they have one that's exceptional, and that's that number 42. And he can get to the quarterback. And then out there on the corner, they got a big 6'4", 215-pound corner. Everybody tries him every game. They haven't been able to beat him. He hasn't given up too many long plays at all. He's hard to beat. And so that when you look at that, they're going to put him on Brazzell. And so Staley and Matthews got to have a good game. And I'm looking for him to bring in Smith and as well as the other receiver, because Robinson Rob Jackson's hurt. It's going to be the other guy, Dobson. I think you're going to see them play. Now, the tight end is going to be a big weapon in this game. The tight end is. And I look for Star Thomas to be a big weapon in this game too, because he catches the ball so well out of the backfield. Between the tackle, all 3 of our running backs got to run that ball. We can't give up no fumbles. We can't give them anything. We got to make them earn it all. And so it's a tough game. My prediction is that Tennessee's going to win this game. And it's going to be, I say, 38-31. It's going to be a close game because Jeff Levy knows how to coach offense. And he's going to have them guys ready. Our defensive backs got to be ready to play. They got to be ready to play. Our defensive line's got to be ready to play. Our linebackers got to be ready to play. Our defense is the key to us winning this ball game on Saturday. Now let's look at some other things too. Recruiting wise, Tennessee Tennessee still has so right now they still have Faison Brandon on the 24/7 site. They still have him as the #1 prospect for quarterback, and then of course Tristan Keys the number 4 prospect overall. And then I look at the state rankings, and Tennessee's coming on up there in football for its high school. Right now, just giving you a little bit about it, but Tennessee's got a player from Greenbrier, Nate Robson. He's going to be a good player for Tennessee. He's already played pretty good in some games, but he's kind of banged up too with a broken hand or something, but he had a big old club on one of his hands. But he is a good ball player, and he's from a town called Greenbrier. Greenbrier, Springfield, Joe Burns, and East Robertson, they all have real good teams. And of course, Tennessee did sign Groves. Let's see. They signed Zach Groves he's from East Robertson. And he's going to be a good player for Tennessee. But you look at it here, Tennessee's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the top players in the state right now. And then as you go down, 7, and that's Luke Thompson. He's an athlete. He's a 3-star, and then they got let's see who this guy is. Oh, Jamon Theodore. He's a cornerback, I believe. Yeah, and he's out of Baylor School. So Baylor is loaded with players. Baylor is a private school down in Chattanooga. They're loaded with players. And Tennessee's doing well right now with those guys. But far as that's basketball, football. But far as recruiting and everything in football, Tennessee's doing real well. They got the number 8 for 24/7 has a number 8, and so they're looking good on that. 24 prospects. So the kid, his name is the Dre Quinn kid. He decommitted from Clemson, and it's a possibility Tennessee may be picking him up as an addition to our class, but 2027, I believe, or 26. I don't know. I think it's 2027, maybe 2026. But he's another. He's a kid that Tennessee is real close to getting. And then for 27, you got a local wide receiver that Tennessee is closing in on. He's a kid right there in the back door there at in Knoxville. No, take it back. He's not in Knoxville. He's at Brentwood Academy. And so Tennessee has a chance of getting him also. And I think he's a 2027 class. But right now, Josh Heupel and his staff, they have a real good chance of picking up a lot of good players. Now, injury report for this game coming up. Let's look at that real quick. Let me go over that with you. And the injury report, it looks like Tennessee is looks like Tennessee's still gonna be without Jamal McCoy and Ricky Gibson. Nothing on Ricky Gibson. He's out. He's listed as out. David Hobbs looks like he won't be back until the 11th of October, and I think that'll be for the Arkansas game, and that'll help us out a lot. Don't know anything on Report Jaxon also, what they're saying about him, but they said he's going to be out until October. And then with like I said, Jaxon Moi is on his way back. Hunter Barnes is a running back. He's out. Let's see. David Sanders, he may be back for next week, but they have him listed as questionable for this week. So we don't know if he's going to make the trip down to Mississippi or if he's going to even make it, suit up and play. Dwayne Morris, he's questionable also. Ethan Davis, he's not listed, but he's questionable. He's not listed on the injury report, but he's questionable. So he's got an ailment that's nagging him. Usually when you have like a hamstring pull or something like that, that puts you out there as a player. You still dress out, but you still questionable to get in there and play. And it's questionable all the way up until the time the game starts. And then, of course, Marion Dodd, defensive lineman, he's not listed on the injury report either, but he's questionable also. And and tight end Deshaun Brame, he's not listed out there, but they're saying he's got an ailment of some sort also. So we're going to need the tight ends. That drops us down to maybe Kinselman and maybe, don't know who the other backup tight end is. But they're probably young players. You can bet your bottom dollar on that they're young football players, and they got to be ready. You know, Josh Heupel talks about that next man up. Next man up. Forget about being a freshman. If the job is there for you to play, get on up and play to the best of your ability. But that's what's going to happen as far as injuries and so forth. So I'll talk to you about what we need to do to win. I'll talk to you about the injury report. Talk to you a little bit about recruiting. And then I left with one guy out. Andrew Rogers, he decommitted from Virginia Tech, and he's from the same high school that Faison Brandon is from, and he's still visiting a lot of other teams. So we just have to wait and see what he comes up with, what he says, but. He's a big guy. He may grow into a strong defensive end, sort of like I mentioned earlier with Groves there from East Robson there in Tennessee. See if I can pull him over here to you. But Andrew Rogers is 6'6", about 250 pounds. He's a 4-star. And I think he's a 2027 prospect. Now a lot of these kids nowadays, they can jump out of high school early and bypass that out there and actually be 17 years old and he's out there playing. Anyway, I was trying to get him up so we could look at him, but he's a real good football player, and I think I showed him to you before, but I'll try to have him on the next show, have him available as Andrews. So the two defensive ends are Andrew Rogers as well as Dre Quinn that Tennessee is in pursuit of, and they both decommits from other schools. And then there was someone else that they talked about at Tennessee. Tennessee also offered, Oklahoma State's coach was fired day before yesterday, Gundy. And Tennessee's offered one of the defensive linemen that they have on their, that was committed to them already. I had to look and see. See where. Look at the team rankings and see. I can get to Oklahoma State. None that been there for 21 years, and they were stagnant. You know, that happens. That basically happened with Coach Barnes at Texas. You know, and usually when that happens, they just go on and make a move. But let me see if I can pop that over there. I can see it a little bit better. For some reason, I'm having a hard time seeing some of this stuff. I think he's like 6'5", 315 pounds. So he's a defensive lineman. I don't know if this is him right here or not. Let's see. This is not him. But Tennessee offered him yesterday. Let's see if this is him right here. This is him right here. I think his name is Danny Beal. He's from Cherry Valley, Arkansas. And Tennessee was hot on his trails anyway. Coach Garner and Coach Chop. And, Marion Harvey is working with him down there now, too, with the defensive line, former VFL. But anyway, they're working on this guy right here, trying to see if they can get him. He's a defensive tackle, 6'4", 315. And you see there, Tennessee's one of the schools that was in pursuit of him. Rodney Garner was the lead recruiter for him. So we just have to wait and see what happened with that. But anyway, if any news shows up, I'll do a quick show and let you know about him. And of course, Tennessee's still beating the bush. You know, the early signing period is December, and of course, I don't know what they're gonna do with the transfer portal, because the transfer portal, a lot of the coaches want to stop at transfer portal from opening in December and or have it to where it opens up only in January. So we'll see if the NCAA is gonna make changes on that. But with that said, that's going to end this show. Hope you got enough information on Tennessee for this game coming up. Like I said, I picked Tennessee to win that game 38-31. It's going to be a close game. With that said, God bless, and we'll see you on the next show. This is the ShallowCross Sports Network, the AA. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you.